They tried to bury this, but moments ago, a classified United States congressional document was leaked, and it officially ends the war on XRP. This changes everything. Forget what you've heard about Bitcoin dominance and Ethereum scalability. XRP just got an unexpected green light straight from Capitol Hill, and the implications could reshape not only the cryptocurrency markets, but also the foundation of global finance. This isn't a rumor, it's part of a real bipartisan bill quietly working its way through Congress under the radar. And inside this document, XRP is specifically named as a non-security digital asset. This single clause ends a decade-long battle with the SEC and could trigger the biggest institutional wave XRP has ever seen. This bill, known informally as the Digital Clarity Act, includes language that effectively removes XRP from the securities classification, aligning it instead with commodities or regulated digital currencies. The inclusion of XRP by name and not Ethereum or Bitcoin has sent shockwaves through both DC and crypto circles. The bill was expected to focus on broad definitions, but lobbyists from major financial institutions reportedly pushed for explicit mentions. The language states that digital assets used primarily for payment and settlement at scale, and that meet certain decentralization metrics, will be regulated under the CFTC, not the SEC. XRP fits this definition perfectly. Sources on Capitol Hill have confirmed that Ripple's CEO BRADGARL INGHOUSE was called in for multiple closed-door hearings leading up to the bill's drafting. Although the public isn't privy to the full transcripts, several insiders suggest he laid out Ripple's long-term global payment framework, showing lawmakers how XRP can replace slow, expensive international remittance channels with faster, cheaper, decentralized alternatives. These meetings were off the record, with no press allowed, indicating the sensitive and potentially transformative nature of what was discussed. Multiple congressional aides speaking anonymously described Garlingus's presentation as the blueprint for the United States financial reboot. Music, and it gets better. A leaked analyst call from Goldman Sachs, yes, that Goldman Sachs, featured a discussion where one senior strategist claimed XRP could reach up to $10,000 per coin under the right regulatory and institutional adoption environment. While this call was not intended for public release, an internal clip was leaked on a Telegram channel popular with crypto insiders. In the recording, a Goldman analyst says, "With regulatory clarity and the right adoption velocity, XRP could hit five-figure territory due to its use case and supply constraints." While bold, this projection isn't baseless. XRP's total supply is fixed, and if trillions in cross-border capital start moving through its network, the math gets very real. Very fast, but wait. It gets crazier. In response to a Freedom of Information Act request, blockchain analysts uncovered wallet addresses tied to government-owned institutions holding over 2.5 billion XRP. These wallets, which are being monitored by on-chain analytics firms, appear linked to agencies involved in digital infrastructure funding. The prevailing theory: the United States government may be preparing to use XRP in upcoming infrastructure initiatives tied to cross-border finance, smart grid technology, and blockchain-based ID systems. Essentially, the government is positioning XRP not just as a tradable token, but as a utility layer for critical national functions. All of this connects back to Ripple's global footprint. Ripple has spent the past few years quietly building corridors, with over 50 banks worldwide, including institutions in Asia, Europe, and Latin America. XRP is no longer about speculation, it's about functionality, with on-demand liquidity becoming more integrated into banking operations and stable coin rails being built on the XRP ledger. The groundwork is already in place for mass-scale utility. Institutions are beginning to understand this. Over the past quarter alone, XRP wallet addresses held by high-net-worth individuals and institutional custodians have grown by over 27%. Music enter Firelight Flare and the passive income ecosystem built around XRP. These platforms allow XRP holders to mint synthetic assets like FXRP and generate yield on their holdings without selling. This model is rapidly catching fire with income-seeking investors, including conservative funds that have avoided crypto. Until now, Firelight alone has seen over $300 million in synthetic asset creation in test environments backed by XRP collateral. This innovation introduces a new dimension to crypto investing: income stability. with institutions increasingly allocating capital towards staking ecosystems. XRP's ability to provide both liquidity and yield makes it more competitive than many traditional assets. At the center of this surge is momentum. And momentum, as any market analyst will tell you, is a powerful force. XRP isn't just being traded, it's being accumulated. Whales, hedge funds, and even sovereign entities are scooping up XRP and locking it into long-term wallets. Whale tracking tools like Whale Alert and Sentiment have shown a consistent trend of large accumulations across major exchanges and OTC desks. As supply tightens and adoption grows, scarcity becomes, well, pretty much inevitable. The balance between available XRP and institutional demand could create one of the most aggressive supply shocks in crypto history. All of this is happening against the backdrop of a shifting regulatory landscape. The SEC's lawsuit against Ripple, which was once viewed as a death sentence, now appears to have honestly backfired, with the court leaning toward a settlement or even a full dismissal of the case. The regulatory floodgates are opening. Legal experts expect that the final decision could drop before the end of the year, providing the clarity institutions have long waited for. Once XRP is seen as fully compliant and greenlit, the next phase begins: full integration into financial infrastructure, hedge fund portfolios, and global payment rails. Meanwhile, social sentiment is hitting an all-time high. XRP-related hashtags, Reddit threads, and Telegram communities are just exploding in activity. The XRP army, which was once dismissed as overly passionate retail investors, is now being credited with helping keep attention on the project, when honestly others wrote it off. That community force is powerful. Every price surge, every exchange relisting, every legal win is magnified across social platforms, creating a feedback loop of belief and investment. It's grassroots momentum fused with real institutional credibility. And let's not forget the 3 secret altcoins tightly connected to XRP's rise. These tokens operate within the XRP ledger or Flare ecosystem and are designed to solve specific problems like liquidity bridging, DeFi scaling, and real-world asset tokenization. One enables ultra-low latency swaps between synthetic and native assets. Another is focused on cross-chain lending protocols, using XRP as collateral. The third is pioneering permissionless tokenization of government bonds through the Flare ecosystem. All 3 are positioned to rise in parallel with XRP's adoption, and they're still under the radar. Early access opportunities to these assets are limited but available through vetted affiliate links and token sale portals connected to the XRP development community. From a macroeconomic perspective, XRP's appeal continues to rise as traditional markets falter, with interest rates yo-yoing and fiat currencies weakening. Capital is searching for safe, scalable, and globally accepted assets. XRP's utility-based model offers a compelling alternative to both hyper-volatile altcoins and outdated fiat systems. In times of uncertainty, markets reward clarity, and that's exactly what XRP is gaining: legal, functional, and now political clarity. So what does this all mean for the average investor? Well, it means we are witnessing a financial realignment, and XRP is at the center of it. Whether you hold $100 or $100,000 in XRP, the equation is the same. The playing field is tilting, and early movers are being rewarded. If the forecasts are even halfway accurate, the next year could see XRP evolve from a speculative asset to a foundational pillar of a new financial paradigm. And that brings us to the final takeaway. If you've made it this far, you already know more than 99% of retail investors out there. You're no longer reacting to the headlines. You're anticipating them. That's the difference between retail and smart money. Smart money gets in before the wave, before the mainstream catches on, before the charts start lighting up. And that opportunity is here now. So smash that like button if you're ready for XRP to lead the next financial revolution. Subscribe to stay ahead of the market with weekly drops on XRP, crypto policy leaks, altcoin gems, and staking strategies that build real income. Drop a comment below. Are you holding? Are you staking? Do you believe XRP can hit $10,000? Let's get the conversation going. This isn't just crypto news, it's a movement, and it's only getting started. Disclaimer: this video is for educational, informational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Please do your own research and consult with a financial advisor before making any investment decisions.